right. All right. I really like the Kalitas in the main deck of this too. I just like casting my spells more than most people. So I like putting more lands in my deck than other people generally like to play. And the best way to mitigate having too many lands is to have your lands do stuff. So like, whenever someone like looks at a modern deck that I'm playing and they go, I think this deck has too many lands in it, my solution is always, don't cut a land. My solution is generally, can we play a creature land? Like, if your deck is at all fair and not a combo deck, rather than cutting lands, I generally prefer to favor adding more utility lands, because that way you still have your lands to make land drops in the early game, but your lands do things when you need action. That sounds like a fun meme. I would probably play that on a meme Monday if someone wanted to submit it. 52 lands, 4 trackers, 4 pack rats. I think I'd be in for that. That sounds like a hoot, actually. We'd probably need to board discard spells for combo, but against fair decks, that sounds really funny. Yep, looks like we're playing against Colorless Eldrazi. This is a fringe deck. It put up a couple of results in a couple of smaller tournaments, like SCG Classics and Regionals and stuff like that, but it really hasn't had a major breakthrough. So my opponent's at 4 cards here, but they have an Eternal Scourge in exile, so they basically have 5 cards. Add 4, like Summoner's Pact? Or like, what do you mean by Pact? Summoner's Pact? Jazzball, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. This is just a pretty easy Chalice of the Void, I think. We've got how many ones do we have? Do I really care about them? I guess I want my Fatal Pushes, right? Do I really? What if I just take this? What if I just take this? Is that greedy? I'm gonna take this. That could be fine, Turkin. Any thoughts on my Slaughter Pack seeing play? Gurmag Angler is the reason Slaughter Pack stopped seeing play. Gurmag Angler. The number of black creatures that you really needed to be able to kill increased. And actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and drain them here, right? Just like take your Dismember and drain you. Yeah, Death Shadow. It doesn't hit artifacts either. Yeah, there's just the metagame shifted to a point where and Splinter Twin got banned actually too. That's a big deal. The fact that Splinter Twin is no longer a legal deck is also. I wonder how many basic wastes these deck play on average. I wonder if it's more than 1. So the internet implies that there's generally 2 basic ways, so I'm not going to field them aggressively. I'm going to go ahead and play an Overgrown Tomb tapped here. I actually think Serum Powder Eldrazi is fine. I don't think it's an amazing deck, but I think as far as like Eldrazi decks go, it would actually be my top pick for the best Eldrazi deck. Oh, they have one in exile. Oh, I missed that. Good catch. Good catch. I completely forgot about that. All right, well, now we're doing this. Hey, chat, remember all those lands we have? They're gonna turn into magic cards. They're gonna turn into magic cards. They draw another Dismember. I'm gonna fetch on their upkeep here. I did draw another Dismember. Alright, so I get 1 clue here. Or 2 clues total. That seems fine. I'm gonna grab a Forest and probably another untapped one. Man, God bless this mute hotkey. Great, sweet. So get rid of this. Thoughtseize you. I do need to add a mute icon. A 10 out of 10 do. All right. Let's do that. Let's do this. There's 2 creatures in their bin and 3 in ours, so sign me up. I'm gonna make a note in my text file for the day. Sweet. I get to field them off this Eldrazi temple now. Actually, they might Ghost Quarter my field here. Interesting. Okay. They are going to get the information that they can wasteland us here, but if they wasteland us here, like, that's fine. We're pretty far ahead at this point. Not actually, so they often play Spatial Contortion, so I'm actually going to double eat now, so that way if they rip Spatial, they can't kill this in response. I think if Stoneforge Mystic was unbanned, the Taxes decks in Modern would just stop playing bad cards like Leonin Arbiter and just start playing Stoneforge Mystic. So no blocks here, obviously, because this is going to crank up to a 5/5 next turn. Track Rat. I love that name. Yeah, probably. I'd probably would splash a color for. I think people can do whatever they want with their stream hounds. Like, different strokes for different folks. I personally enjoy having all of my content be donation deck powered. I like that about my stream. I like that my stream, except in small cases when I'm going to an event, is me rewarding the people that support my stuff by playing the decks that they want to see. I like that I get to free roll my Magic online, because even a $10 donation covers the cost of playing a league for me. So I'm happy with my system, and if other people are happy with their system, you know, teach his or her own. I think I'm gonna leave this back. I'm like sad if they draw like exactly Dismember, but I think that's fine. Yeah, it sets me up for variety too, which makes my content more appealing to a lot of people. Also, because I have so many deck lists in my queue, I think one thing a lot of people don't realize about my system, or people that watch the stream probably realize it, is that, like, there's a lot of people that, like, donate $10 for a deck, and then other people cheer it up, right? So, like, not every $10 donation deck, most of them, in fact, don't end up being $10 decks, right? Like, people add dollars here and there to move them up faster. Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the biggest draws to Twitch in general, as opposed to other forms of media that people consume, especially like YouTube, is that people want to be interacting with the content that they create, so or the content that's being created. So by letting people pick what they're seeing, they're getting to interact with that. All right, so they're killing off Liliana here. Yep. We've come a long way, Jet. Not only do we stream a lot of decks now, but my attitude and approach as a streamer is much better today than it was previously. Well, Dismember was their best draw. Not sure there was much we could do about that. So I'm gonna fire up. I guess I'm not gonna fire up Hissing Quagmire. When they Ghost Quarter my Quagmire, I'm gonna get to Fatal Push their Thoughtseer because I'll have Revolt active. Yeah, they have Ghost Quarter sitting here. Because of the Ghost Quarter Hounds, I wanted to eat the Thoughtseer and draw a card. I'm pretty far ahead here if I can just like get a couple of cards up or clear their board out. Man, they mulliganed low this game, but the top of their deck has been very hot. Oh, I should have killed the Mimic in response. I'm dumb. I should have killed the Mimic in response. I was just kind of tilted that they drew the Chalice of the Void there, so... I definitely should have killed the Mimic in response to that Chalice. They didn't forget to attack. I have Hissing Quagmire. And they have 2 Ghost Quarters. Is that good? Is that one good? I think that one might be good, chat. I think that one might be good. Taste the pack rat. Taste it. That's a piece of candy. Was that the best draw in our deck? I think that was the best draw in our deck. I'm like, what? That was the best draw, right? Like, of all the cards? So, like, I definitely think, like, 4 pack rats in this deck is a total meme, but I think a non-zero number of pack rats isn't unreasonable. Because, like, one of the ways that these decks struggle is the wrong half problem you'll hear me talk about a lot on the stream, which is your cards don't line up well into your opponent's cards. And Pack Rat just lets you turn your cards that aren't lining up well into more Pack Rats, which is kind of great. I present Track Rat 2.0. No, I think we need Summoner's Pact. I think Summoner's Pact is needed. Woo-hoo! The old concession pack rat, chat. Got him. The old concession pack rat. Don't mind if it does. Alright, so... I'm definitely in the market for these. I think I just want to cut these discard spells. Not only does my opponent's hand get empty quick, but getting them stuck under Chalice kind of sucks. Just how I drew it up. Excellent, Fragnads. Elspeth Knight Aaron, thank you for the 2-month free subscription. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I'm in for Nissa Vital Force here, too. Collective Brutality is kind of medium. I guess it kills Mimic and Hardcast Spirit Guide and their 3-2. Do I want this Gaze of Granite because it can take, do I want this Gaze of Granite because it can take Chalice off the table in addition to sweeping their small things? Maybe I do just want that. In my opinion, Fulminator Mage is not the way you want to be attacking these Eldrazi decks. Eldrazi decks aren't like Tron in that they need to set up a bunch of lands. They get to make mana with their Ancient Tomb, their Eldrazi Temple, the turn they play it. So you're always going to end up behind. Like, Stone Raining them while they have a fat Eldrazi in play isn't a winning proposition. Oh, wow, it's Anthony with that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for that. You know, there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Welcome, welcome. We won game 1, Zodiac. We drew Pack Rat and they conceded because Pack Rat's busted. Sounds fine. Listen, chat. Did none of you experience Pack Rat's tyranny in Standard? Track Rat needs your help. Alright, Relic, whatever. It's funny, the last time I played a sanctioned limited event was GP Christmas for RTR. Was it Return? No, was that? Yeah, it was Return. It was Indianapolis Grand Prix for RTR. I think that's terrible, Hounds. I think it's the worst part about the Magic community. I think the people that speculate and gouge the prices on cards, the people that just want to play with them, are the single worst thing about the game. I just want people to have fun and play sweet games. And doing things like that makes that not possible. You gonna hop in the copter? Do it, Choppa! No, stop it. Did you? Alright, grab an Overgrown Tomb here. We're gonna have a really sweet curve here. You can safely extrapolate that I'm against the... It's really weird. I think Magic's a game that people should play. I think using Magic cards like stocks and bonds is silly. You want investments, get an investment broker or trade some stocks yourself. These are supposed to be a trading card game. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be your life savings. If they have TKS here and we brick next turn, we could be in a little bit of trouble. I guess they could also go Ancient Tomb. Reality Smasher would be really terrible for us. If we're really lucky, they're going to brick on a land and die. Wait, so I can just plus this here and it goes away? That's how this works, right? Bye, friends! So if they have a Dismember, they can kill Liliana the Last Hope here. They can Dismember this, fire up Blinkmoth Kraken for 4. Isn't Ancient Tomb banned? No, they banned Eye of Ugin. They didn't ban Ancient Tomb. Lad Chad's a good dude. Lad Chad's a good dude. Kalitas does replace Matter Reshaper dying. Wow, their hand must be bad. So... I think I do this. Untap this as a 5/5. Yeah, I could do that, but I kind of want to get the Nissa out of my hand so that way they can't rip Thoughtseer and take her away. So I kind of just want to, like, prioritize getting my good cards into play. Because, like, they're never going to beat this Nissa ultimate, right? Like, never in a million years. They could, like, fire up this creature land and attack, and I just, like, Fatal Push it, get a zombie, and then, like, emblem this and destroy them. Sure. Holy crap. Always yes, always yield. Woo! Woo! Oh, baby! Oh, baby! I'm just a simple man who wants to draw a lot of cards, chat, okay? Just a simple individual who wants to draw a lot of Magic the Gathering cards. Dat Candy Herbivores, thank you very much for the 8-month resubscription. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I do appreciate it. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Alright. I guess I'll attack you for 3 and gain 3. You know, this is all I got, opponent. Your turn. This is all I got. That's all we have. I'm just gonna have to make do with these tools, I guess. Figure out how to scrape out the win. I love Tireless Tracker. Yeah, I'm really confused why we're still playing Magic, but I'll take it. We're gonna get to draw a lot of cards next turn. Okey-doke. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Stop killing him! He's already dead! Stop killing him! This is our fair mid-range deck. Stop attacking, we don't want them to concede yet. Okay, here's the real question. Do I add this video to the Black Green Rock playlist on my website to confuse people? What do you think? I feel like I should add this one to the playlist for the Black Green Rock deck on my website. $100 bits to die to decking. Alright. Alright. While we're waiting for the second match in this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here today. I got over 1,100 people. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time stream, meme, content producer here on Twitch. I'm here streaming Magic 30 plus hours a week. We focus primarily on Modern. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do this because I love it, but my subscribers are the reason that I'm able to do this full-time as a job, thanks to their wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my content by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com, I love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Honey is a free browser add-on that when you install it using link bit.ly/HoogleHoney, you'll be supporting my content here at absolutely no cost to yourself. What Honey does is, when you're shopping online, it takes a look at the stuff that you put in your shopping cart and searches automatically for coupon codes to save you money on stuff that you're going to be buying anyways. If it can save you money, it offers you the codes, and if it can't save you money, it leaves you completely alone. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 2 months now, and we really enjoy it. I don't think we'd ever go back to a traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress by checking out links bit.ly/HoogleBedUS and bit.ly/HoogleBedCA. And of course, we'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about receiving your complimentary timeout. We are 1-0 in this league with Black-Green Pack Rat, waiting for the second match to pop, slow and steady. If you haven't done so already, something new that I've been working on my website, I guess I can plug myself a little bit while we're waiting for the match to pop. I have this really sweet deck list page up here. If you're looking for sweet decks to play in Modern, I have not only decks that are good on here, but we have a lot of different sweet variations of decks, some fan favorite decks. You can click into any of these pages, and you can find not only the deck list I would play for this archetype, but also a YouTube playlist here of all of the times that I have played that archetype in the past. Of course, Hounds, I got you. Here are some bits so I can see Hollow 1 first / early tomorrow morning. Thank you, Agahi. I appreciate that. No, thank JG. Thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate that. No, the Hollow 1 land count I think is fine. Mostly because your deck plays both Burning Inquiry and Faithless Looting to see more cards. Lead on Swamp here. Any plans on adding sideboard guides to the more popular list? Yeah, definitely Mana Bango. I was traveling the last 2 weekends. I was at Gen Con last weekend, and I was at SCG Open in Indy the weekend before that. So I haven't had as much time as I would like to get things updated on the website, but eventually I plan to hopefully add not only sideboarding notes to the decks on there, but also like lists of like, these are other cards you can play to tune your sideboard for specific decks or specific metagame, stuff like that. I think they're different decks, RX. Hollowed One is much better at playing through Graveyard Hate, whereas the Dredgevine deck's a little bit more all-in on the Graveyard plan. Seachrome Coast, Serum Visions likely means Ad Nauseam, but it could be a variety of things. Some Spirits lists play Serum Visions, other things like that. I'm no need to try. Thank you for checking out, honey. I appreciate that. Welcome. This almost certainly means Ad Nauseam. Death and Taxes is on the no-fly list because, in my opinion, it is a collection of largely underpowered Magic cards that I don't particularly enjoy casting. All right. Real question. Is casting my spells better than making pack rats? I really want... Can Shill Jingle be changed to Streamer, Memer, Magic-themed creator? Maybe. It almost rhymes. I feel like pack rats kill faster, right? Especially with our Mutavault in play. Because, like, this takes mana to make bigger. So, like, I'm attacking for 2, I'm attacking for 9, I'm attacking for lethal, so I have them dead on 5. And again, Pack Rat just like, we're probably not a favorite to win this game, but Pack Rat just being kind of a reasonable card, turning our Fatal Pushes into something that's kind of useful in this matchup. Again, just like letting you fade that wrong half problem that these mid-range decks often have. I really enjoy playing Blue Red Wizard, so let's bump it up. Thank you, Zal. I appreciate that. As always, if you donate any dollars or cheer any bits, for every $1 you donate or 100 bits you cheer, you are welcome to pick a deck that exists in the donation queue and move it up so it gets played a little bit sooner. The people that support my content here dictate what we play and how soon we play it. Alrighty, well, we're dead. It's nice playing. Good stuff. Their hand is very likely Simian Spirit Guide, Angel's Grace, Ad Nauseam. Just gonna make them show that to us and then take a peek at their build. So they'll respond to this Pact of Negation trigger with an Angel's Grace, and then I guess they can also just like play a land drop and move to their main phase, right? So like untapped land Ad Nauseam also kills us here. Tracker looking for discard spells is really slow. Just gonna take a peek at their deck list here. Like pretty stock Ad Nauseam there. Blue-white turns. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it. Ad Nauseam's a sweet deck. We've played it a couple of times on stream before. I should probably add that one to my site too. So Kalitas is a little slow. Last Hope's a little slow. I think Abrupt Decay and Maelstrom Pulse are actually fine. Yeah, I definitely would put it under fan favorites, Austin. I don't think it's super powerful in the current format, but I think it's fun and interesting. Different strokes for different folks, God. One of the reasons why Magic's such a sweet card game is because different people enjoy different things. So like a deck that's interesting to you might not be interesting to someone else, and vice versa. How do we feel about this board plan? The Gaze is definitely too slow. I like Pulse and Decay for killing the random artifacts and Unlife. We get to bring in some more brutalities for discard. And Surgical Extraction can take like Angel's Grace or Ad Nauseam and then get rid of all the rest of them. There's a link directly to the deck list portion of my website. I should add it. I need to add a panel for it under the stream. I think Last Hope and Fulminator, that's kind of silly. That's a little ambitious. Fulminator's just like, Fulminator isn't amazing here, but it's just like better than some of the other cards on our board, basically. Is this hand good enough? Languish is over the second Damnation for two reasons. One, Languish doesn't always kill our creatures, so sometimes it's like Plague Wind. And two, it is a card that you can cast when Meddling Mage is on Damnation. I think I'm going to keep this on the play. I feel like Goyf into Liliana is pretty good. This might be a little bit slow. I wouldn't fault someone. I wouldn't fault someone for mulliganing this hand. This build is light on ways to interact with Leyline. This deck actually only has exactly one way to take Leyline off the table, which is probably light. I usually like 3 to 4 ways to kill Leyline in my black-green rock decks. I think my build on my website right now has 2 Maelstrom Pulse and a Golgari Charm for 3 ways in the 75. Hey, DPSK. Yeah, I started doing this full-time towards the beginning of the year, and it's really taken off. Very lucky. I think I want to bin Quagmire here. Like, next turn, I can go Inquisition, Scavenging Ooze, plus Surgical potentially. And, like, if I draw another land next turn, I can just, like, empty my hand before I play Liliana. The Bridgevine deck is just gas to play. It feels like a Charbelcher or Spanish Inquisition deck, but it's actually good. Yeah, I think Golgari Charm is great in Modern. It cleans up tokens against, like, Mardu Pyromancer, it kills Leyline of Sanctities, and it also regenerates your creatures through Supreme Verdict, which is great. It's a back rat. Okay, I'm going to lead on Inquisition here and see where we go. I'll probably bin the Scavenging Ooze this turn. That's interesting. So we're rolling some dice here. Surgical comes in out of the sideboard against Ad Nauseam for this reason exactly. I get to take this Angel's Grace here, and then I get to surgically extract their Angel's Graces. This is why it's in our deck. If we had Thoughtseize or the other card, Thoughtseize or Collective Brutality, we could take their Ad Nauseams. They just, like, took a damage there for no reason. How else did they sideboard? Did they... Oh, they exiled Leylines. I was like, did they bring in one Leyline of Sanctity? They have Leylines over here. And their Lotus Bloom is coming off next turn, so that's nice. Yeah, now they need an Unlife. And even if they hit Unlife next turn, they don't have enough mana, right? They only have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they need 8 for that. So, should be in the clear here. Yep, yeah. The fact that Liliana Plus lets you chew through a Leyline is, like, really good. I mean, it was impossible for the Goyf to kill them there, right? Like, the only reason the Goyf was lethal is because they were discarding a card. Or because they took damage. Huh. That's actually a great point, Great Night Lord. I didn't think about taking Simian Spirit Guide. It cuts them off of mana. Yeah, maybe taking Spirit Guide was better. That's actually a really interesting thought. That just wasn't a line I'd considered. Because they need Spirit Guide in their deck to go off with. Huh. Okay, so we can actually prioritize surgically extracting that, too, to make it much harder for them to win. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, actually. It really sucks that we only have one way to take Leyline off the table. I mean, this hand's great, and, like, we have Pack Rat to discard our Inquisitions too after they Leyline us. Yep. Sure, Bloom makes triple red, but taking their Simian Spirit Guides away means that they need to have 5 plus 1 plus 3, so they need to have 9 total mana. So it makes it pretty unlikely that they're going to be able to do it. Blooms and Prisms take time to get into play first. You can't put those into play the turn you draw your deck. So, like, it requires them to have more mana the turn they combo. Sure, chat. It's not about them explicitly having red mana. It's about them not having enough mana in general. All right. How we feeling about this this stone rain, chat? Feeling pretty good about this stone rain, chat. Feeling pretty good. We're gonna die next turn. Why do I feel like we're gonna die next turn? We gloated too much. We flew too close to the sun. Ay, 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 ay. Do 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 do. We're actually still just dead to Pact, or to Angel's Grace plus ad nauseam, right? Yeah, because they have 6. Alright, kill me. Is Decay on Prism better? I guess that cuts them off of mana. Yeah, it's probably a little bit better. I guess that gives them a land to draw, but then they need more pieces. Well, now I just killed a Lotus Bloom, right? Yeah, I should have decayed last turn. I agree. I agree with chat. I agree with that assessment. It's gonna be a value ad nause. I think this is a value ad nause, which means the surgical is gonna be good. All right, got him. Got him. Beat the ley line. Beat the ley line. People often ask me what I think are the better fair decks in Modern, and I think Black-Green Rock is the second best fair deck in Modern right now, in my opinion. I think Mardu Pyromancer is definitely the best interactive fair deck in this format, but I think this is definitely a pretty close second. I actually think this deck has a pretty reasonable Tron matchup, so if you're interested in playing a fair deck that's decent against Tron, I think this is a good choice. The combination of Field of Ruin and Fulminator Mage and Damping Sphere are very reasonable against Tron. All the other fair decks that you think are great are varying degrees lower than those. How much? Who knows? We don't have ways to objectively measure how good these are. In my opinion, having played a lot of decks, I think Mardu followed by this are the 2 best fair decks in Modern. I do not like blue-white control. I do not like it, Sam I am. I do not like it in a pan. I do not like it with any spam. How do I define a fair deck? Sorry, so Humans is a fair deck in the terms of what it's doing, but it's not a mid-range interactive deck like this. So Humans I would classify as fair, but it's not interactive in the same way that it's playing a bunch of spot removal like this. Alright, so they shocked themselves for that. So I think I want to go basic Swamp and then upkeep Fatal Push here. So I'm going to let this resolve, and then I'm going to push this off a cliff. So role assessment is important in matchups like this. And in my experience, their deck is the beatdown in this matchup. So our goal while playing from the Black-Green Rock side is to just be as conservative as possible. We want to just like make sure all of our cards generate a little bit of value. We want to make sure we don't get too far behind on board, etc., etc. So I know they have a Burst Lightning in their hand. Maybe. I don't know. If I had another tournament coming up, I'd practice. So, like, when people always like to come in and ask me, like, what deck would I play? And the answer is, I'm a responsible adult. So if I'm going to spend $300+ traveling to a Magic tournament, I'm going to be prepared for that Magic tournament. And I don't plan to go to any tournaments coming up, so I am currently not prepared for any Magic tournaments. I feel like they have a Leaker Remand here. They shocked their land in on 2, which is like, signifies that they have one of those 2 things, right? Remand, sure. Presk, thank you for the 5-month free subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I went 13-0, not just because I was prepared. I went 13-0 in Indy because I was a thoroughly healthy mix of both lucky and good. You have to be both. Terminator, thanks for the 2-month free subscription and welcome back. Yeah, I definitely plan to play some Artifacts, and I will certainly stream it if I'm playing it anyways. I'm also planning to probably stream some of the Warhammer card game when their digital client releases. I will take the lightning bolt that has legs. Thank you. That's, yup. I really didn't like the Lightseeker's gameplay. It felt really underwhelming to me. It wasn't really engaging, in my opinion. It was the game mechanics were too simple. The Warhammer card game feels like Lightseekers, but with more to it. Yeah, I guess I could have pulsed for mana efficiency. Waiting to pulse means the pulse is better because they have another Grim Lavamancer in their hand, though. We're also just, like, getting kind of low here, though. Which is kind of scary. Because, like, they have burst. Wait, did they play a burst? What did I miss? Oh, we know a burst. They have 1 burst. Okay, sorry, I'm dumb. When does the Warhammer TCG come out? It's already out in paper. They're supposed to have a digital client out by the end of the month, I believe. What's the timeline they mentioned at Gen Con? Alright, I think we're going to go Tracker, Urborg, Abrupt Decay. I didn't get a Forest because I'm dumb. Because I have Urborg, so I definitely should have gotten a Forest. Often the answer to why didn't I do the smart thing is because I missed it. What's my general playstyle method / style? I'm generally in favor of the opinion of that just like repetition is the most important thing. It's just like get reps in with whatever you're gonna play. Came for the Magic, stayed for the Hoagland Snark. What's going on? Radagast, thanks for the 4 months and welcome back. Yeah, Kylo, I'm definitely gonna if it's a game that sticks with me. Like it's hard to know when you play something new for the first time, really, I think, to like, is this something that's gonna like stick for me? Alright, so they left 4 up here instead of attacking with the Mutavault, so they must have drawn a Snapcaster Mage or a 3-drop, right? This feels like a Snapcaster Mage turn or a 3-drop. Is there a way to donate a deck for a competitive league specifically? No, I don't play competitive leagues. I think competitive leagues don't meaningfully add anything in terms of skill or the decks you play against. All competitive leagues do is require me to gamble more. Which, gambling extra just makes me frustrated. Okay, so I guess if you really wanted a competitive league for a $100 donation, I'll play a competitive league. Because, let's be honest, I have a price for everything. I'm a realistic human who's honest. God, we are going to get beat down in this guy here. really need a piece of removal. I hope they take one of my cards here. I really want them to just, like, take any card out of my hand. Because I really need a piece of removal to kill this Vendiclick. Nope, that's not true at all, Milk Dud. The amount of money that's different between the friendly and competitive leagues isn't significant for a lot of people. They just don't care. It's just like, sometimes you show up to a cash poker tournament and just, like, don't care because the amount of money that the tournament's for just, like, isn't a significant amount to you. So you play loose. Like, different amounts of money mean different things to different people. No, I like that they took the Tarmogoyf there. Tarmogoyf is definitely the scariest thing. Tarmogoyf's like the thing their bolts don't kill. We're really far behind here. This is definitely a matchup where Pack Rat is not good. It's a card that's very mana intensive, and this matchup I feel like is more about trading on efficiency than trying to get grind card advantage. Because the content is worse when I'm frustrated with what I'm doing, MWLX, and I find losing money while I'm playing a game frustrating. So if I'm frustrated, it's not good content, so I just don't want to do it. I'd rather not make content than make bad content. That's my goal, basically. If my options are make bad content or make nothing, I'd choose nothing. We are very dead. The fact that, like, when you go 2-3 in a competitive league, you lose $12, and when you go 2-3 in a friendly league, you lose $4, that's a big swing. Yeah, ghosting also happens significantly more in the competitive leagues, which, again, makes for worse content. The people that are playing the friendly leagues are playing them with the only purpose being that they want to play Magic. They're not there grinding for something. I don't know that this is a Languish Damnation matchup. I feel like it's not. I feel like that's just too expensive. I'm going to trim a couple of Pack Rats here. The reason why the blue-red deck is good is because it has a chance in almost every matchup. The fact that your deck is just a flurry of evasive creatures and lightning bolts is very good. I don't think this is a Fulminator matchup. Although I guess you could argue Liliana the Veil's pretty mediocre. Maybe Fulminator Mage is better. This card's, like, kind of mediocre. Oh, look at that. There's my favorite. I'm gonna come in here and point out something with my feelings. I feel like you're wrong. Show me the data. Show me your work. Do your homework or get out of my chat. That's what I have to say to your feelings are wrong because my feelings are different. If you're not going to quantify what you're saying with actual data and metrics and all this other stuff, guess what? Leave. Your feelings aren't any more valid than my feelings. You know what I can tell you? I can tell you that I played competitive leagues for a long time while streaming. Probably, I don't know, 4 digits worth of matches of competitive leagues. And I've taken random samples from different time periods of competitive leagues versus friendly leagues. And in every random sample I've taken of 4 and 5 leagues at a time, comparing them from friendly to competitive, Modern is a format where, regardless of how much we're gambling, half the decks you play against are bullshit. Like, half the decks you play against are nonsense. This is the format where people play literally anything you want. Because the format is where the best deck in the format isn't that much better than the rest of the decks. I think Cast Down is good in this matchup. While it does miss Vendilion Click, we just want to kill all of their things. This is a matchup where we want to grind them out of threat, so I want all of my spot removal to grind them down. Meddling Mage is the reason to play Languish. Also, Languish doesn't kill our Tarmogoyfs, or some of our Scavenging Oozes, or some of our Tireless Trackers. I think the best way to grind modern events is to get 5 to 6 competent players. Yeah, definitely, Milk Dud. The thing I always tell people when they ask me like, what do I think is good testing? You should go back into my YouTube archives and 2016, maybe some of 2017. There's a bunch of paper testing videos in my YouTube archive from back when I was grinding the SCG tour. I think that's the best way to approach paper testing for big events. All right, so I think I'm only escalating this once here. I think escalating twice is probably wrong. Huh. I think I want to take the opt here. I like have another discard spell to like work through their burn. This seems pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and do this and escalate again. I'm gonna ditch the Inquisition, I think, here. I think that a large issue with the Magic community with people in general is that people become invested in things that they like. We live in a world where you don't need data to shout opinions. Yeah, I agree, Lighthammer. Heavily strong, firm agree. That we live in, like, the accountability. I am aware of the fact that there have been moments in the past, and even moments probably in the recent, where I'm slightly too harsh with people in chat. And I've been working, especially since I started doing this full time, to strike that right balance between being constructive when I tell people that they're not giving me enough information and, you know, going over the top. Because it's very easy to go over the top. And I've definitely done that in the past. But I also think at the same time that having zero accountability makes for a bad stream and a bad user experience. And it makes me annoyed. So, like, I'm doing this to make me happy. So let's just, like, you know, I love having a discussion with people, but there's a lot of people that don't want to have a discussion. They just want to fling poop and tell me I'm wrong and not provide any justification for why I'm wrong. So it's just, you know, that's how it goes. All right, so we've got a... Alrighty. What we have here are 4 toughness creatures versus the 8 lightning bolt deck. What we have here are what I like to refer to as 4 toughness creatures against the lightning bolt deck. It also gains 3 life. Yeah, we have a 3-power lifelink against the burn deck too. So, ooh, we're gonna deal 6 damage to my Kalitas, and like they've killed the Kalitas here, but like they're not winning this game, right? Elise McQuiz, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. You're allowed to assert opinions and defend yourself from trolls. I think that it's healthy too because a lot of people try and jab through. Yeah, definitely. And I definitely think that I've gotten better at doing what I'm attempting to do while streaming, especially this year since I've started doing this as much as I do it. I'm definitely aware of the fact that I was less good at doing what I do and the way I approached some of it was less than ideal. And I think I've gotten a little bit better. Again, it's just like working to strike that balance between having some accountability, but like, you know, there's the what's the Big Lebowski. You're not wrong, Ted, but you're still an asshole. Like there's that mechanic of it too, right? Like just because you're right doesn't mean it was okay to say what she said, how you said it, is basically what it comes down to. And as someone who has a very, mathematical, programmer, logical background, I've definitely fallen into the trap of it doesn't matter how I say what I say so long as I'm right. That's the only thing that matters. And that's just not true. That's not how people work. That's not how emotions work, etc. Bit, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I should have played Tracker pre-combat here probably, but honestly, it probably doesn't matter. I was actually very pleasantly surprised when I linked my decklist page on the main Magic subreddit, and it didn't just get crapped on by everybody. It actually had a bunch of upvotes this morning when I woke up. Can we call early Jeff Legacy Jeff instead? I love it. That's great. Enabling so for a while I tested enabling for being a decent host and honest human being. Thank you for the bits, Lighthammer. For a while I tested enabling comments on my ranting videos only on YouTube, and that just didn't work out well. So I just have, of course, the way you say things is very important, but I have to choose. I'd rather have somebody real. Sure, but like, you can be real with someone without being cruel or without like putting them down. Like there's different ways to approach it, right? Vintage Jeff is with a Harrison pigtail. That's great. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Again, I think I don't want the actual sweepers in this matchup. No, Pikes, even like the random Magic ranting ones, like not the socially charged the socially charged ranting videos. I expected those ones to get piles of trolls. Even the ones that are purely Magic based have a lot of people that are obnoxious on them. Excuse me. And I've heard people say, well, why don't you just enable YouTube comments and then not read them? I'm of the opinion that, like, if I am creating a space for people to interact, I'm responsible for the things that occur in that space. So, like, if I have comments enabled on my channel, I'm allowing people to cultivate comments there. I feel obligated to make sure people are being decent to each other in those comments. A little more Jund. Thank you, Detroit, for the bit. That one's coming up real soon. I appreciate the support. That's a lot of good ones. No, I don't play in Grand Prix. Huh. I'm gonna take the opt and hope they miss and then stoner in them next turn. Thank you, Colin, for the bits. Now, I'd probably end step a Snapcaster Mage here. We'll see if they do it. I think they're supposed to end step a Snapcaster Mage there. They hit the land. They did hit the land. Alright, so they hit the land. My Goyf is only a 3/4. Any advice on how to play it? Generally, role assessment, Malv. Figuring out when you're the control deck and when you're not is the most important thing. I'd probably play a Grand Prix in Indy if it was modern, or if they came back to Chicago. Yeah, do I want to just take them off red here? I'm still at 18. The problem is they get to, like, snap opt. Yeah, I think I'm just taking them off red mana. I know what Twitch chat is going to say. Twitch chat wants me to Stone Rain them. They can stifle us, so I'm not going to Stone Rain them till they tap out. I'm not going to Stone Rain them till they tap out. They're gonna snap Opt at my end of turn, or they're just gonna pass, and either of those are fine with me. If they like don't use their mana on this turn cycle, that's a win for me. If they don't use their mana on this turn cycle, I'm gaining tempo by doing that. So I feel like I'm in a good position regardless of what happens here. I've traveled to Cincinnati in the past. Cincinnati's probably like on the outer edge of my range these days. Cincinnati's like 4.5 hours for me. Wow, not snapping Opt is super greedy here. God bless America, my country. 'Tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Bum, 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 bum. Not drawing removal is rough. The games where we don't draw removal, they are just gonna like tempo us into the ground here. They're going to tempo us into the ground. Yeah, I'm not sure what other events I'm gonna make it to this year. I think my plans for Vegas are gonna fall through. I don't know that that's going to happen anymore. We'll see. Okay, that's good. That's one less lightning bolt heading at our face. I should go buy the domain name Hoaglandia.com. That's actually a great name. Someone watching this stream is going to buy that domain name as we speak now, but if it's still there tonight, I might pick it up. And like this is like the awkward thing about this matchup. Like I can't attack with the Tarmogoyf, because if I attack with the Tarmogoyf, they're just like snap Wizard Lightning your tracker, like crack you for 7, but they have this evasive threat in the air where I also don't have a removal spell for that yet. So I'm kind of like damned if I do and damned if I don't. I think I'm supposed to preserve my health total here by leaving the Tarmogoyf back and then hoping to draw an Abrupt Decay or a Maelstrom Pulse or something to kill this Nimble Obstructionist, but we're definitely behind right now. Yeah, Brutality would be a great draw. No, I know how much domain names cost. They're not that much. How do I look up what's next in the queue? So the deck we're playing after this one actually isn't listed in the queue because it was a cut the line donation Detroit. If you look here though, this will tell you, generally this will tell you the deck that we're playing next, with the exception of if there was a $100 donation or not. All right, down to 9. Okay, that's a good draw. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna attack with Tarmogoyf here because I can Field of Rune Mutavault and then still fire up my own Mutavault and play Fatal Push. I assume they're gonna snap Opt at end of turn here. This might be too aggressive, but I feel like I need to start closing. If they snap Opt here in response to the Opt, I will do the field. So they're going to cast Opt. I'm going to go ahead and Field of Rune this Mutavault. Mutavault looking pretty good on our side of the board too, which is sweet. And then still in response to this, I'm going to go ahead and Fatal Push the Nimble Obstructionist. Yep. I don't want them to be able to draw like a Remand or a Mana Leak. I guess if they have removal for my Mutavault here, so I guess they're pretty likely to have. The Goyf attack was too aggressive. Yeah, the Goyf attack was probably bad. I just feel so far behind. Oh, yeah, that's true, Bagaboosh. I forgot about that. That's a good line. So the field sacrifices itself as part of the activation cost, so I could have pushed with Revolt before the field resolved. This trade happening is very good for us. That is a great draw. This insulates us against a Nimble Obstructionist or a Vendilion click here. I'm going to hold this land in my hand in case I draw a Tracker or a Pack Rat. If they attack with the Snapcaster Mage, I'm going to attempt to trade it for Quagmire. I might put up a donation goal for the Invitational. That might be a thing that I do. We'll see. That's still a little bit far off. I gotta, like, confirm the dates with Christy. The other thing that kind of depends on the Invitational is that, like, I have to figure out, like, is Standard gonna be good? Because, like, I have to, ooh, okay, so, am I willing to, say, Scalding Charge Lash, am I willing to deal 4 to take 2? Alternatively, I could shock and crack them to 5 and have them dead on board. I'm gonna do that. This puts us dead to a bolt, but I think I just want to, like, I'm okay being dead to a bolt to 2-turn them here. I guess they haven't played that many bolts. I have, what, 6 of them? 7 bolts in their deck. This doesn't bode well for us, chat. They just said oops in chat, so maybe they missed that they were dead on board. Alright. Alright. Alright, we're 3-0. 3-0. I just drank this entire water, so I'm gonna have to run to the restroom again really quick. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, sorry. Tiny bladder. I actually really like Nissa Vital Force in this archetype. Nissa Vital Force is a card that generates card advantage for you in grindy matchups, but it also allows you to apply really significant pressure because this deck is the beatdown deck against decks like Blue, White, and Jeskai Control. Really, really, really like at least one of her in the sideboard. Honestly, I think you could even go if you're playing green black rock into a very control heavy format, I could even honestly see 2 of her being fine. I'm not a big fan of Grimflayer on this archetype. I think enabling Delirium is just too difficult, and like a 2/2 trampler is just like not reasonable. Yeah, it is, Gert. If you weren't here earlier, I was talking about how I think green-black rock is the second best fair deck in Modern, trailing closely behind Mardu Pyromancer. So the 54 is a combination of both dollars and how long the deck has been in the queue, Detroit Lion. So the points that the decks have in the queue is 1 point per $1 the deck has towards it. And then it also gets 1 point per day that it sits in the queue to basically make sure decks don't sit in the queue for forever while other people send more money in over them. What's going on, Lapis? Welcome to a live one. Just like straight blue-white. There is literally a copy of Liliana on the last open our deck. There's a deck list on your screen if you're on mobile. You can type !deck deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. Alright, Pack Rat versus Attention Sphere. What year is it? What year is it, chat? Pack Rats versus Detention Spheres. Oh, baby. We even had Overgrown Tomb in that format too, right? I'm gonna sit down for a bit, enjoy the raid, chip. Oh. Alright, I'm getting kind of hungry. It's protein bar time. Let's do this, see what else they have. That's... Yep, those are cards. Alright. That is correct, Tarantula. So a deck that's been in the queue for 5 days and had $10 donated towards it has 15 points. Yeah, I probably should have just jammed Liliana there. Yeah, I definitely should have just jammed Liliana there. Why do people think control isn't viable in Modern? People play Hallowed Fountain decks constantly. It was what, the second most played archetype at the Pro Tour? Like, what do you want? Second most played archetype at the Pro Tour? Feels bad, man. Yeah, definitely should have stuck Liliana on 3. That was a mistake not to. Yeah, we're just too far behind at this point. I think Mardu Pyromancer is the better deck than Grixis Death Shadow. When I said I thought it was the best fair deck in the format, I was including comparing it to that. Only having one Maelstrom Pulse kind of sucks here. This card's very good at keeping up with Teferi. You just use any hypergeometric distribution. Calculator Milk Dud. Okay, repeat after me, chat. Modern is a format where you can play whatever you want and have a chance of doing well. It's why it's a fan favorite competitive format. There's a reason why this format is the most popular competitive format Magic has ever had. Hoaglandia is a type of tree, really? I actually didn't know that. It's okay if the deck you want to play is not what people think is one of the top 3 or 4 decks in the format. There are lots of decks in the format that are not the best deck, and it's okay if your favorite deck isn't among them. Alright, so this is a pretty easy path to exile here. So that way we can get our Tireless Tracker into play. Alright, now I gotta pull it up. Oh, there's no picture. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I was expecting a picture of a Hoaglandia tree. And now I'm just sadness and disappointment, chat. Alright, since we drew Thoughtseize this turn, I'm just going to go Thoughtseize into Collective Brutality. Okay, my best piece of advice for people who are interested in playing Magic, especially competitively, is that even when you are winning a lot, Magic doesn't make you that much money for playing it. So if you aren't enjoying what you're doing, you should stop doing it. So you should play Magic, and you should pick decks in a way that allows you to enjoy playing the game. It's the best way you can approach playing Magic. Magic's a game that has a lot of variance in it. And even if you practice a lot and are very good at it, you're going to lose a lot of games to things that are outside of your control. So you best enjoy what you're doing while you're losing. I know they have a Condemn, so this isn't attacking. I think I'm just going to go Goyf and try and beat them to death here. I mean, Noah Walker plays Grixis Delver because he likes the deck and it's powerful. Alright, so I'm going to upkeep field them here. The reason why I don't want to field on my turn is because it would give my opponent enough mana to Cryptic Command me, which will let them tap my team to fog them for a turn. I also want to make sure I field of Rune them, though, before they draw their card for the turn. Because once they draw their card for the turn, they could have drawn a Path to Exile, which means they could kill my Tireless Tracker before I get another clue. Zigzal 68, thanks for the 2 month in a row there. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here for another month. $100 gets you a deck immediately next, but as a heads up right now, the next deck we have today was also a Cut the Line donation, so if you sent in a hundo, you'd be the deck after the next one. Otherwise, if you'd like to just be at the top of the queue for the next stream, you just have to beat whatever the top deck in the queue currently is, which, as of right now, after today is going to be about $70 or so, I believe. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. When I play against Jeskai control, I like to board an Obstinate Baloth because I like to overload them on threats that don't die to bolt, but against blue-white control, I think this card's a little mediocre. Oh, what did cut the line? Oh. We have a black-white colorless Ratlock deck coming up next. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to keep this. I think this is fine. We need some lands, but like our deck has 25 lands in it, so let's just like run a little bit good. Alright, I'm gonna attack first with this in case they have a Condemn. Because I would ideally like them to tap out so they can't like mana leak me. That being said, I'm YOLOing the crap out of this because they don't have Logic not up. Deal. Someone asked in chat, is Thrun just not good anymore? With all these blue-white decks moving to Terminus, Thrun has gotten a lot worse. Thrun has gotten pretty significantly worse. Who wants to move in on the rat plan, chat? I think I'm in for moving in on the rat plan here. Hope they have like 4 Terminuses in their hand right now. No, I kind of want to save the second rat for after, Alright, let's do this. See what happens. Like, discard Goyf? I don't know. I kind of wanted to save this for Post Sweeper. Sweet. And now I induced a Field of Rune activation here, so I can use this Inquisition and still activate my rat here. That's true. We didn't register pack rat to not pack rat people. Aptly said, Destraminator. Very astute. You gonna path me too here? Gosh, that's so good for us. Just like stumbling and they're pathing us. Was that their only target for it? It was their only target for it. That's awkward. I guess I should have led on Thoughtseize, huh? I think Silence is better than Defense Grid. That's why I play Silence. Silence is better against more than just counter spells. It can time walk combo opponents. I can't take Jace, chat. This is an Inquisition. I didn't lead on Thoughtseize because I'm dumb. Definitely should have led on Thoughtseize there. Yeah, I'm going to Thoughtseize Wrath and then play another pack right here. If we hit an untapped land, Nissa probably buries Jace in the ground. Begin the sculpting of the mines. So even if they unsummon here, this still just dies, right? When do I think Blue-White Spirits will be played? It's in 5th place. I never make any promises, Sanguine. Likely that means Sunday or Monday. But I'm not 100% certain on that. The whims of people sending me dollar dues can sometimes be difficult to predict. Ding. If they hit a Terminus here, we could be in trouble. I just try and push lethal here, right? I could even Inquisition before it. Yep. Probably see blanks again. Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Alright, sweet. Well, if they tap out for her next turn, they're dead to this Maelstrom Pulse. Nissa is so good. Yeah, if you're playing in a control-heavy format with Black-Green Rock, put 2 Nissas in your deck. I don't even think it's unreasonable to main decker if you're expecting a lot of blue-white turtles. If I minus, they can kill her with Colonnade is the problem. I think I just make them have it here. They're looking to glimmer into Terminus or Path. Okay. Fair. I think Burn's a good matchup for this deck. You don't take a lot of damage from your lands, and you have a lot of Inquisitions, you have a fast clock. I think especially if you have some Baloths and a bunch of Collective Brutalities, it's very reasonable. A lot of the builds I play even play like 3... I think the list on my website is 3 Collective Brutalities in the main deck right now, which gives you a huge matchup against Burn. Alright, so they're dead. While the pack rats are sweet, I do think not having 2 Maelstrom Pulses... Oh, they're killing my stuff. Oh no. Untap land, untap land, untap land, untap land, untap land, untap land, untap land. Come on, untap land. Puppy! Their last card is Glimmer, genius. Goyf was lethal. Goyf is a 5/6. Sweet. Nissa bringing it home. Good games, opponent. Opponent said GG's in the chat. I played Abzan Traverse. Not in recent memory. Yeah, we are 4-0. Quick activate Shambling Fed. Rude. Anybody else remember playing in Standard when Koth was legal and like getting people because they targeted the mountain they just played? And remember, while the pack rat, the Mutavault was actually good more than one time today. Honestly, I might try a Mutavault or two in regular Black Green Rock without pack rat. That card's been pretty reasonable. Seems a little slow, but I think I'm gonna keep it on the play. Sand is not very good against Tron. I actually don't think this deck has that bad of a Tron matchup between the fields and the other tools that we have, but it's definitely a matchup where you like need a specific hand to win, and this is not, oh, they're playing this Tron deck. Okay, deal. Everybody can check bad Tron off your bingo cards. I am 0% to play around a counterspell here. Just like jam this Liliana. Let's go. Put towards Amulet Titan. I bought it yesterday and can't wait for the Stirring's ban. Thank you, Austin the Lamp, for the bits. I appreciate it. That was a good series of draws. Alright, so we get these in. Get this. Cast down's probably fine. I think I want Nissa just to pressure them. Fatal Push seems pretty bad. Abrupt Decay is probably not very good either. Surgical Extraction is probably okay. They usually play Snapcaster Mage and we can like take their Tron pieces away. I actually don't like Damping Sphere in this matchup. I think it just doesn't do enough on average. Damping Sphere definitely comes in against Green Tron, but I don't like bringing in Damping Sphere against Blue Tron. Their deck just like doesn't have nearly as many big things. Field of Rune and Fulminator Mage are cards that like do stuff when you're not aggressively hitting them. I don't think this matchup is strictly terrible. I honestly haven't played it though, so like I don't really have a super educated opinion on that. I feel like we have the tools to win here. They just like the hand we had in that first game. That's actually one of the things that is very different from Magic. Most modern card games like Eternal, I guess Eternal doesn't do it. Hearthstone, Hex, the new Warhammer card game that I've played, they give you tidbits of information about the matchup that you're playing before you actually start, which allows you to make more educated decisions in the matchup to allow decks that are trying to be interactive to be a little bit better. You can kind of know what to expect from your opponent before they start taking game actions based on like things you know at the start of the game. And I really like that. I think one of the reasons why these interactive and controlling decks really struggle in Modern is you hit that wrong half problem so frequently game one because you just don't get to make educated decisions. I'm going to keep this, and if we find a second land, we'll play Magic, and if we don't, we'll concede and move on to the next league. Good stuff. Holy crap. Brecken's giving out candy. All right. Thank you, Brecken. Enjoy the emotes, chat. Thank you for the absurd support, Sky. The rat deck is next. I'm actually going to play Inquisition here because it beats Remand and Condescend, whereas this doesn't beat either of those. Brecken just gifted 10 people subs. New subscribers, make sure you pop in the subs Discord. Check that out for sure. I'm gonna take the Relic here. Not only does it power up my Tarmogoyf, but it means that they're not gonna be able to shrink it back down, which is nice for us. Details on the subs Discord is here. That's a good draw. If I cast a spell, I get remanded. If I don't cast a spell, they get to just crack the map. Probably dead here. Oh, they just want to play and crack Oblivion Stone. Alright, I guess I'll take Supreme Will. No, Blue-Tron's a fan favorite, JW. It's like Hallowed Fountain in it's a deck that sees way more play than it should based on its power level. Alright, we hit the 4-1. It's not bad. It's not bad. So this was a deck that was submitted as kind of a meme. So we had four pack rats shoved into a traditional green-black rock shell. Pack rat was actually, thank you for the bits, Brecken Sky. Rain takes the heat away after a long day. Pack rat was actually like reasonable in more than one matchup. I think if you're looking for something kind of sweet and different to do with your black-green rock deck, like 1 to 2 pack rats are like a reasonable supplemental threat. The card that really stuck out to me in this league as being like very reasonable was that Mutavault is super sweet. Honestly, I thought about going to 26 lands in black-green rock anyways. I might try like 26 lands with 6 colorless lands at some point in the future. So, but yeah, we 4-1'd, which is sweet. I think black-green rock in general is a really sweet archetype and is powerful in modern. If you want to see my current black-green rock deck that doesn't have anything cute in it, you can definitely check out it on my website, jeffhoagland.com/decklist. There's a black-green rock button on there. So you're replacing Pack Rat with Sylvan Advocate. Sylvan Advocate's kind of interesting. That card is Vigilance, right? Yeah, if I'm going up to 26 lands with more creature lands, Sylvan Advocate might actually be awesome. Yeah, maybe that's a card I'll write down to test next time someone wants to see it. August 14th, something. Thanks, Sky.